secured a place in Hollywood history as the most loved and most hated TV series in just a matter of 2 seasons. But it also revealed the not-so-glamorous side of Hollywood, particularly the behind the scenes of making such an intense and dark show. And Luvs, this is something worth addressing because people have a lot to say about it. Since season 1 had a widely successful reception, the producers got even more energized for season 2. And that's where the trouble began because the second season had a crazy amount of ridiculous scripting and creative decisions, which left many dumbfounded to say the least. Like, every episode had one scene that would leave devoted fans saying, wait a minute, what just happened? For those who have watched the 2 seasons, you can pinpoint several things that just didn't sit right or were utterly unnecessary. And people started questioning the writer's pen game, so these inconsistencies only beg the question, what went wrong? Were these honest mistakes, or did the show's writer and director, Sam Levinson, turn up the heat a little too hot? To find out, we have to unmask the glittering facade, peel off the layers of Euphoria, and reveal the cold, hard truths. Besides the troubling storyline in season 2, there were additional issues not just within the show, but also concerning HBO's toxic work environment, particularly impacting the supporting crew. Furthermore, there was the much talked about emotional stress that the cast members had to deal with when Euphoria got darker and darker. Even Zendaya once cautioned her followers on Instagram about the show's heavy tone. She wrote, "I know I've said this before, but I do want to reiterate to everyone that Euphoria is for mature audiences. This season, maybe even more so than the last, is deeply emotional and deals with subject matter that can be triggering and difficult to watch. Please only watch it if you feel comfortable. Take care of yourself and know that either way, you are still loved and I can still feel your support. All my love, Daya." In the season 2 trailer, the production hinted at a much darker tone, and the crew repeatedly emphasized that things would get even more intense as the episodes unfolded. However, this surge of intensity caught the fans off guard. In Sam Levinson's mind, taking things to a darker place seemed to involve extremely violent scenes and an excess of graphic and unnecessary sexual content. While the creative minds behind the show might have believed including those intense scenes was within reasonable boundaries, this strategy took so much away from the show's coherency because instead of developing the characters' storylines as with any good show does, the vibe people got was overwhelmingly a sense of excessive nudity, violence, and blood, which didn't align well with the intended tone. Even though this tactic can be effective in certain shows, it didn't really fit in well with Euphoria because the show's theme was different. And that's where things started to feel off for the people who really love and support the show. Remember guys, Euphoria was heavy on tackling real-life topics that affect teenagers such as mental health, drugs, body image, and sexuality. So the various side stories unfortunately diverted attention from these crucial matters. Fans found themselves entangled in side plots that seemed to stretch unnecessarily, like the endless tale of the missing suitcase that put Rue on Lori's radar for failing to distribute the drugs as agreed. This drama went on for a hot minute, shifting the show to a drug cartel operation which altered the original theme, eventually downplaying the theme of drug use among teens. Still on the unrelatable and overhyped storyline, can we talk about the tape? In season 6, Nate shows up in Maddie's house with a gun and threatens to shoot her if she doesn't produce the tape. Now, Sam completely lost the plot here because we had turned Euphoria into a crime mafia thriller instead of a dramatic teen show. You see, Luvs, Euphoria had such a huge contrast between the 2 seasons because season 1 was quite relatable to the point that you could insert yourself into the story and still relate to the drama going on. But when a high school themed story now turned into full-blown chaos with guns, too much sex, and drug deals gone wrong, a majority of viewers were genuinely confused because they could not relate and became less interested in several large sections of season 2. Season 2 dedicated too much time to Cassie/Nate/Maddie mess, which was mad unnecessary. Euphoria had so much potential when it first came out. As the spotlight on the show's questionable scripting continued to flicker, another layer of concern emerged. Whispers of a less than ideal work atmosphere began to overshadow the on-screen chaos. Let's start with the probably most talked about character, Kat, played by Barbie Farah. It all started out as social media rumors that Barbie and Sam had some sort of feud. While we don't know everything that happened on set, there's always some truth in the rumors. Unlike in season 1, Sam didn't give Kat any significant storyline in season 2 that was worth following. And maybe this was just a way to get her off the set. Like, her role was just there. To be fair, she had a few scenes, good scenes like the part talking about making yourself happy, but they were few and far between. And as a matter of fact, there were more interesting side roles than her role. And to make matters worse, Kat just showed up in a way that you'd literally hate her off the bat. Everything she was doing or saying was off and annoying, like that infamous breakup episode with Ethan where she was literally gaslighting him. Viewers didn't experience any engagements or progression in her role that was worth their attention. And it didn't take long before Barbie herself left a message suggesting that her role wasn't all that. But she had to accept it anyways because that was what she had signed up for. It is said that Barbie wasn't comfortable with how dark the story was getting, which got them not vibing with Sam. So Sam decided to dilute her roles and importance in the show so that getting rid of her would be easy. I mean, from a whole main character in season 1 that is loved to having almost a supporting role in season 2 was an insult. Barbie finally threw in the towel and took to her Instagram to announce that she was quitting. After 4 years of getting to embody the most special, enigmatic character Kat, I am having to say a very teary-eyed goodbye. I hope many of you could see yourselves in her like I did and that she brought you joy to see her journey and the character she is today. I put all my care and love into her and I hope you guys could feel it. Love you, Catherine Hernandez. Barbie spilled more details surrounding her departure in a podcast when she revealed that contrary to the rumors, they never had a fight with Sam. It's only that she felt Sam couldn't relate to Kat because he only wrote about things that he could relate to.
I think my character, who I love so dearly, I don't think there was a place for her to go. I feel like with season 2 and having certain parts of it that I felt was like kind of a struggle for both parties, Sam, me, it was a struggle to find the continuation of her. So that was actually really hurtful. Watching it and seeing the fans get upset, I don't know, I just felt like maybe it's like I overstayed my welcome a little bit. Sam writes for like things that he relates to. I don't think he relates to Kat. I relate to Kat. So I could go on my own path. And at first I was like, oh my God, I'm a flop, I'm a loser. It really has been a good thing.
The final straw that broke the camel's back was the death of Angus Cloud, who played Fez. He had such a major role in the show that it would be interesting to see how the creative minds would end his character on the show should they insist on producing season 3. Whatever they choose to do, it won't sit well with a lot of fans because it will be somewhat insensitive. Angus's character had a major role and storyline on the show. I feel like it would be beyond disrespectful to make season 3 knowing that they'll either kill him off or say he went to jail or whatever easy excuse they can come up with for him being gone. As if all these kicks are not enough, Sam Levinson himself is now on the receiving end because the same people who glorified work in season 1 have become his greatest critics. Even though the extreme nudity in season 2 caught people's attention, viewers sorta let it slide until Sam released his recent project called The Idol. And this time, people were over it. First of all, the storyline was quite frankly raunchy, but the nudity was beyond normal, and once again, highly unnecessary. To add salt to injury, the storyline seemed to be glorifying abuse. An inside source even revealed that the original plot for the show was about a woman who was on a journey of embracing her sexuality, but when Sam joined the team, he changed it to a man abusing this woman, but she loves it. There were lines that literally made fun of the most traumatic things women face, like SA, which were handled too haphazardly and ended up making a mockery of rape. Here, take a look at some of the reviews people left. He's so rapey. I love that about him. This is how you know that not a single woman's opinion was included in making this show. The nudity thing is so weird to me. This show brings me an immense amount of fear I never knew I had within me. Guys, I've read through numerous reviews of The Idol and 99% are negative, and people were left triggered. Viewers believe Sam used this opportunity to highlight some controversial ideas he holds but might not express openly. This got people now analyzing his previous works which had Euphoria's ratings go down. Looking back, there was a particular scene in Euphoria season 1 which certainly made sense to many. Do y'all remember that one episode in the show in Cassie's storyline that was supposed to highlight the abuse that goes on in sports? People pointed out earlier how it was the most watered down yet very important theme because Sam instead directed the show to some cliche American football scene. It was the weakest part of season 1. Such a missed opportunity to address a very important topic. But now that he repeated the same thing in his new show, The Idol, which doesn't show victims of abuse coming out strong, but kind of loving the torture, clearly you can see why most people think he is not okay inside. These scenes almost look like their goal is for you to praise abusers. It was also after The Idol that people took a keener look at his much praised masterpiece Euphoria and identified the similarity between these two stories. And nudity was once again a major characteristic. Even cast members pointed this out, like the time when Sydney Sweeney, who plays Cassie, in an interview said, "There were moments where Cassie was supposed to be shirtless, and I would tell Sam, I don't think that's necessary here." Even though she said Sam would respect her boundaries, people can't ignore the fact that he was probably pushing actors' limits to see what he could get away with. The Idol may have been Sam's sort of redemption from all that's going on with Euphoria, but judging by the public uproar, it's like he literally presented himself to the FBI for investigation. So guys, with these many concerns, a lot of fans aren't so enthusiastic about season 3, but we are yet to see how the production team will handle this. Sure, HBO might want to keep milking the cow that's still giving them some award-winning milk, but the fan chorus is harmonizing a different tune. It's not a hate rally, it's just that the honeymoon with Euphoria is over and the hangover has kicked in. The love was intense, the hate even more so. And the fact that HBO announced that season 3 is likely to premiere in 2026 might just be the final nail in the coffin, because who would still have the zeal to watch? I mean, season 1 premiered in 2019. There are two things to consider here. The fans they catered to in 2019 will be young adults, so relatability 0, but I'm sure that even if HBO still pushes for season 3 to air, people will just tune in out of curiosity. Unless, of course, Sam creates an outrageous move to fast track the entire cast to college, which, if you think about it, will be a very bad idea. What happens to the gazillion of unanswered questions of season 2? Even all of season 1's drama hasn't unfolded. Fans actually raised these concerns, so HBO should better make up their minds. I wouldn't mind if they did a huge time jump to the cast in college rather than high school, and I would like to see them change things and get different writing on board. Sam seems very stuck in a kind of tortured realm, and I don't think I want to continue seeing that. I'm sorry, but 3 whole years for a season, at that point, people don't even care. I think Barbie leaving, Angus passing, and the writers and actors strike delaying season 3 are all very compelling reasons to not do a season 3. I loved the show, but I was literally 17, 18 when it first came out, and I'll be 24, 25 when season 3 is supposed to come out, and I know I'm not the only one that feels like our interest will definitely die off by then. As much as the pieces are falling apart, Euphoria owes fans some closure, and they need to figure out how they'll pull that off. Of course, assuming that season 3 is now a gone case. Anyways, loves, that's all the scoop about the state of Euphoria, and I'd love to hear your opinions on this matter. Are you still hooked, and would you still watch season 3 when it airs in 2026, or you'd rather count the pieces of rice one by one? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and you'll be hearing from me soon with more stories like this.